2022 is looking like another year of double-digit growth in real estate, but which markets are going to be the hottest and experience the most appreciation in 2022? Well, Zillow, Redfin, and Realtorcom all have different opinions. On this video, find out their top 10 predictions and why, coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Deal Analyzer software, which runs the numbers on any property for you in seconds. Get it now at mydealanalyzer.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton. I make millions of dollars a year wholesaling and flipping houses, and here on my YouTube channel, I show you how to do the same. So if you want to be a flipping genius like me and live your dream life, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. In 2022, all the indicators are that sellers will remain in the driver's seat, especially in the hottest markets where you can expect strong competition for homes, multiple offers, bidding wars, and homes selling for over asking price. Amazing if you're a seller and not so fun if you're a buyer. And as we've seen consistently since the pandemic, the 2022 housing demand is coming from an increase in remote workers leaving the big cities and looking for smaller, less crowded markets, also an increase in both young buyers and retirees, and demand for more affordable housing. So, which markets are predicted to be the hottest? Well, since Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com all came up with different predictions, which means they must be looking at different data, so we're also going to look at the criteria that they use to make their predictions. Let's start with Zillow, which, by the way, last year Zillow predicted that Austin would be the hottest market in 2021, which was spot on. Yahoo Finance named Austin the hottest market of 2021 with a 33% growth year over year in 2021. Overall, Zillow is optimistic about the 2022 housing market, forecasting a 14.3% national home value growth through November of 2022. Now, as you'll see, Zillow is mostly betting the hottest markets will literally be the hottest markets, and buyers will be attracted to warm weather markets known as the Sun Belt. According to Zillow, work will play a key role in moving decisions for both remote and on-site workers. It's no surprise that many areas experiencing high demand for housing are also seeing increased local job growth. 6 of the 10 markets on Zillow's list have added more jobs than new homes over the past 2 years, intensifying the competition expected in those markets. Now, to come up with their top 10 cities for 2022, Zillow analyzed the 50 largest U.S. metro areas and based their forecast from November 2021 to November 2022. Their primary data points that they used were trends in inventory of homes for sale compared to the number of new homeowners, new jobs, and new construction housing permits. Now, using that criteria, Zillow is predicting that the number one hottest market in 2022 will be Tampa, Florida, with a 24.6 estimated increase in 2022, which is slightly lower than 2021, which saw a 27.6 increase. Nearly 385,000 people live in the city of Tampa, and there are nearly 3.1 million residents in the Tampa Bay, Hillsborough County metropolitan area. Now, population growth in Tampa was 1.7% last year and is projected to grow 3.3% annually over the next few years. The median sold price for homes in Tampa is $340,000, which is under the national median sale price of $400,000. So let's list off the remaining 9 hottest markets that Zillow predicts. Number 2 will be Jacksonville, Florida. Number 3 will be Raleigh, North Carolina. Number 4 will be San Antonio, Texas. Number 5, Charlotte, North Carolina. Number 6, Nashville, Tennessee. Number 7, Atlanta, Georgia. Number 8, Phoenix, Arizona. Number 9, Orlando, Florida. And number 10, Austin, Texas. Okay, now let's look at Redfin's top 10 predictions for 2022. Redfin is putting all of their eggs in the Florida basket, predicting 8 of the 10 hottest markets will be in Florida. Now, Redfin believes buyers are willing to overlook possible hurricanes and flooding for warm weather, lower taxes, and affordable housing. In addition to that, since the pandemic, there has been an increase in early retirement in America, and Florida seems to be the nation's favorite retirement destination. As far as criteria, the Redfin rankings are based on year-over-year growth in listing views and the competitive nature of the market based on days listed before sale and the percent of homes that sold over their listing price, which is a pretty smart way to determine where the highest demand is going to be. Now, the data they gathered is through September of 2021. So the number one hottest market in 2022, according to Redfin, is going to be South Sarasota, Florida. Now, the ever popular white sand beaches of Longboat and Siesta Keys are all that separate the city from the Gulf of Mexico, continually creating high demand. The Sarasota housing market has exploded since 2022, rising 34% to a median home price of $435,788. And that's as of December 2021, making South Sarasota one of the last parts of Sarasota where you can find a home for under $500,000. Now, this is a big draw for buyers who have been priced out of other areas due to skyrocketing housing costs. The challenge is the total number of available houses is down 50% from the previous year, which is why 36% of homes sold for over list price and within a week of being listed. So let's list off the remaining 9 hottest markets. Redfin predicts the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th hottest markets in all of the US will all be neighboring markets to Sarasota. Number 2 is East Venice. Number 3 is Englewood, Florida. Number 4 is Venice, Florida. Number 5 is Nokomis, Florida. And number 6 is the Meadows, Florida. Now, Redfin also predicts Weston, Florida near Fort Lauderdale will be number 8 and Fort Myers, Florida will be number 10. That means the only 2 top 10 markets outside of Florida are number 7, Chatham at the tip of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and of all places, number 9, Lake Lure, North Carolina, which is primarily a vacation and second home destination. So now let's take a look at Realtor.com's top 10 predictions for 2022, which came up with completely different markets than Zillow or Redfin. In fact, Realtor.com only gave Florida 1 spot on the top 10, and it was dead last at number 10. Now, as far as criteria used, their rankings were based on the combined yearly percentage growth in both home sales and prices in the top 100 largest markets in the US. So the number 1 hottest market for 2022, according to Realtor.com, is Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, Salt Lake is an outdoor enthusiast's dream with its close proximity to some of the best skiing, hiking, and fishing and mountain biking in the country. Now, since the beginning of the pandemic, remote work has prompted an influx of transplants from California and Colorado looking for affordable homes and a low cost of living and good schools. And guess what? Lehi, Utah, also known as Silicon Slopes for its booming tech industry, is just 25 miles away from Salt Lake and home to SanDisk, Adobe, and eBay facilities. So let's list off the remaining 9 hottest markets. Realtor.com predicts the 2nd hottest market will be Boise, Idaho. Number 3, Spokane, Washington. Number 4 is Indianapolis, Indiana. Number 5, Columbus, Ohio. Number 6, Providence, Massachusetts. Number 7 is Greenville, South Carolina. Number 8, Seattle, Washington. Number 9 is Worcester, Massachusetts, or as we say in Massachusetts, Worcester. And number 10 is Tampa, Florida. And what's interesting is out of the 30 markets predicted between Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com, only 1 market made it on 2 lists. Tampa was Zillow's number 1 prediction and Realtor.com's number 10 prediction. Other than Tampa, they each predicted completely different markets. I find that fascinating, and time will tell who is right. But I think it's probably safe to say that all 29 markets they predicted will be hot markets for 2022. So, how does this information help you as an investor? There are 2 things that you can do differently when wholesaling or flipping in any of these hot markets. First of all, those markets are going to be extremely competitive to find discounted properties, which means you're going to work 10 times harder to get discounted properties in those markets. The good news is if and when you do, you'll be able to wholesale or flip those properties for premium prices. As far as wholesaling in these hot markets, here's what I'm going to do and what I suggest you do. If I get a deal in one of those markets, rather than wholesale the deal using the assignment method, I will probably buy the property, then without rehabbing it, immediately turn around and resell it on the open market. This is often referred to as wholetailing. The reason why this is a good strategy is in a hot market, there is always an outlier buyer that will pay way more than everyone else. They will pay 90% or even retail value for your distressed property because they want it so badly in that hot market. The way to find that buyer is to list your distressed property for sale on the MLS, where you'll get maximum exposure. To illustrate, if a fix and flip cash buyer is willing to pay $120,000 for your deal doing an assignment, you may find a very motivated buyer on market willing to pay $160,000. Now, if you're a fix and flipper in a super hot market, you may consider adding in some appreciation into your ARV calculation. Here's how. Let's say that Tampa is expecting to have 25% appreciation in 2022, and you plan on buying a house today to fix and flip, and based on historical comps, the ARV is currently $500,000. That means in 12 months at 25% growth, the ARV would be $625,000. That means if your flip takes you 6 months at 25% growth, the new adjusted ARV would be $562,500. Of course, that's assuming Tampa actually appreciates at 25%, which you have no control over and is speculating and risky. So maybe to be safe, you cut that in half and add $31,000 in anticipated appreciation to your current $500,000 ARV for an adjusted ARV of $531,000. That means you're projecting that in 6 months, when it's time to sell your fixed up home, the new ARV is at least $530,000. But again, like I said, speculating is risky, so I only suggest you do that if you feel certain the market will remain hot and if you're still conservative about it. Now, if you're looking to really up your game with wholesaling and flipping, I suggest you check out Flipster. If you've never heard of Flipster, it's a cloud-based, all-inclusive platform that has everything you need to wholesale and flip from start to finish, including motivated seller leads in every market in the US. To learn more and see it in action, just go to getflipster.com. And if you want to see me use Flipster live to find a deal, analyze it, secure the contract with the seller, and find a cash buyer, all virtually without ever seeing the property in person, be sure to watch a video series where I break it down. So watch that now, and if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel. With over 800 detailed videos here on my channel, this is the #1 channel on YouTube for all things flipping, and I'll see you on the next video.